Yeah, I also a quick video on the sort of very light restoration of this particular Raleigh Chopper mk2 that I'm doing. So yeah, my bike, I've had it a long time, maybe approximately 10 years, roughly. Looking at the number on here, it's July 73. So all I've done so far on this bike, so I've had it a long time. It's always been rideable. But what I did do yesterday is fit the brand new tyres. So I wanted to get the tyres, sort of a year ago, but then they stopped making them, or they went really expensive, that sort of scenario. But they've been recently remade now by Raleigh, so got the new tyres, new inner tubes, and also the new tyre bands as well, rim bands. So those were in there as well. Looking pretty decent. So the reason I'm going to leave this one here exactly as it is in terms of how it looks, because I've got a nice yellow one. I'm not interested in painting and all that sort of stuff with bikes, around Raleigh Choppers. I like to leave them as they are, but make them rideable. I'm 6'2", so obviously it's a child's bike. It's hard to ride at this height, but I'm going to unseize it and get it higher. So I believe that I probably unseized this. I believe this bit here is probably unseized because of course it's got that. So I must have done that a long time ago. But I'd imagine that this bit here is seized rock solid. It certainly doesn't move. Otherwise if it did move, I would have put this bike a lot higher so I can ride it, because there's quite a lot of extra metal here in the tube, and roughly speaking, I'd probably ride it about this sort of height here. So I'd imagine those are both completely seized, which is normal. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to take off the bolts, take off the springs, put them up here, get access to the tubes, and then basically I'm going to clean it all up, and then I'm going to start to use lots of releasing fluid on this and try and get this sort of soaked in, try and do some twisting, that sort of stuff. Obviously I don't want to damage anything, don't want to heat anything, don't want to lose any paint, all that sort of stuff. But also I do want to make every effort if I can to raise it so I can actually ride the thing. So that's cool. I like the fact that it's got the white cable on here. So obviously some kid, presumably in the 70s, said to his parents, I want to upgrade it, whatever. So they fitted the rubber covers on here, which have gone to solid, and the white grips, white cable. It's got a sort of ribbed cable on here. It's not an original one, I don't think, because I think they're lined normally. But yeah, it's got some work done on it. It's got the horn, which is cool. Yeah. Gear shifter all works in terms of it moves on here. The cable itself is, I'm going to try and get the right cable basically, because it's just got a cable in there which I think I must have fitted years ago on there, attached on. So I want to do it properly so I can adjust it. So yeah, that cable is definitely on my list of things to get. I am just cleaned out, oiled, all that sort of stuff. The freewheel set operates really nicely, it changes gear nicely. Fitted brand new chain on it a couple of days ago, £5 or £5.99 it cost with the link, and just used my tool just to remove 4 or 5 links out of it to make it the same length as the one that came off. Handlebars are twisted, as you can see. I'm not particularly interested in straightening it up. Maybe might possibly do, but it adds to the story, I think, of the bike. When you ride down the street, when I ride this down the street, and the handlebars are twisted, I just think, yeah, this is obviously how some kid damaged it or broke it or whatever years ago. So I'll probably leave that as it is. It's got all the thimbles and stuff on it. I put on some old stock brake blocks from a Sinclair C5 that I had literally lying around, which are perfect because they're quite hard and they work, I would say, very nicely with the metal rims on it. And you can see already that when I started to use it, it's starting to sort of bed the pads in today, which is good. After all this sort of stuff works, but yeah, it all works. You can see here there's no parcel shelf or rack on the back on this one. Someone's obviously taken it off or it broke or whatever, so yeah, I'll be leaving that off. Seat, it's gone pretty hard. Underneath it's soft, under here it's fine, but this bit here is pretty hard. So if I can get the seat raised up, I might consider maybe getting a seat cover for it, because I know you used to be able to get a seat cover for about 20 quid. Don't know if that's still true or not. I might consider doing that. I'm not sure, because it obviously adds to the story having it like this, but that is pretty battered. And it kind of, that looks decent. That kind of looks a little bit crap. and I say decent in a sort of random way. You know, that just looks, when you pull up, you know, when you pull up on this to a shop, you know, it draws a lot of attention. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, possibly may do a saddle cover. I'm not sure, but yeah, the key thing is just to get this baby unseized at the back. Hopefully it'll be easy, but I'd imagine it won't be. So yeah, there we go. There's the bike. But yeah, otherwise it's smooth, rides nice, and yeah, it's a fizzy lemon from July '73. Cheers. Right up high, also part 2. So I'm just looking at the pedals now. So reason I'm looking at pedals is they are disgustingly bad and not original, but more importantly, this one here works, whereas the other one was actually missing most of the ball bearings. You know, and also it was just completely knackered. You know, and actually wanted to ride the bike and all that sort of stuff. So what I thought I'd do is take the pedals off. So I went on eBay, found a new pair of pedals, sorry, a used pair of pedals, original ones, for about £12 posted, which are much better condition, spin freely according to the seller, just perfect. So this side here, what I had to do is I tried to use, well, you can get a proper spanner like that, which is not going to do anything. So unless the pedal's been off, those sorts of things there, you know, are only really useful for bikes which have had the pedals on and off. So what I had to do is get a 15mm, file it down thinner, just using an angle grinder. And then once that was on there, it then fitted in perfectly in the gap. I then had to use a 6-foot length of tube, plus of course turn it round so it was like propped up against the stand to get some leverage. And then once I then cranked down on it and broke it, I was able to go backwards and forwards, use it, and then also using some releasing fluid, this stuff here, and eventually it came off not too bad. This side here just wouldn't budge at all. So I talked to to Harry from the Raleigh Chopper forum. Thanks very much appreciated. And he said, yeah, the best technique is just to get the whole arm off. So I'm a bit worried about that. Didn't think it would come off, but you know what? The cotter pin just knocks straight out. I mean, in the past they've always been absolutely rock solid, but knocked straight out. And then the actual crank arm, yeah, literally just I was able to use a small crowbar, and it just came off. Job done. So once it was off, I was able to put it, it's just not hot still, put it in the vise this way here, and I then used my heat gun, which is really important. Got a proper sort of gas heat gun and heated round the outside for, you know, a good few minutes. You know, you don't want to sort of heat the centre, you want to heat the outside so that it expands a bit. Then sprayed it with the Vulcan both sides, and then did it, and then heated it again and sprayed it again. And then once I'd done that, I was then able to put my foot on here, put the spanner on, use a 6-foot bar, and then just basically just push down on it. On the left hand side of the bike, you turn it this way, turn it clockwise, because it's a left hand side thread. So you turn it that way. And yeah, and once I broke that, I then managed to gradually use it. But honestly, I needed a 6-foot bar, because having that little spanner, and I haven't really got anything else to attach to the spanner, but you kind of need something that's, you know, a few feet long, I would suggest, to be able to crank it around, because mine was super bloody tight. Yeah, and then that came apart, and yeah, the thread looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this back on the bicycle, wait for the new pedals to arrive, and then that's good. And then the next part, say I've done the chain, I've ordered a modern version of this. So this, to get the correct gear cable, is about 40, 45, 50 quid for the right one. What I'm going to do, this is a modern replacement, is I've got the toggle chain coming, new toggle chain, because this one is, the thread's knackered, plus it hasn't got the tightening, little tightening screw on, but it's just knackered. And also the modern version of the other part, which basically just bolts onto your existing cable. So that was £7.99. It came with a cable, which I don't think would be any good, but the two parts were £7.99. So that should sort out the gear change. Chain's all done. I need to get a chain tensioner at some point. Sissy bar is absolutely rock solid. So I've loosened it all off. I've tried to heat it. I bent out the posts ever so slightly here. Tried to twist it. Tried to hit it upwards with a hammer. Tried to use a 2x4 to twist it and to hit it and all this sort of stuff. Obviously I don't want to damage anything, but I'm giving it a bit of a whack, but not ridiculous power. But ultimately, and put lots of fluid down it, but ultimately it's not moving at all. It's completely and utterly rock solid. And when I measured up, I'm pretty sure the sissy bar is going to be down here somewhere. So there's a shitload of steel in there that's seized. So, but that's another part. So get the clean this up, get the pedals on, get it riding again, and then I'll worry about the sissy bar, because I'm too tall to be able to ride this bike properly with it the seat in that position. And if I can get the sissy bar up, like I mentioned to you on the first part of the video, I might then do the saddle as well, because the saddle covers about 25 quid when I looked online. At least then it makes it, a bit nicer to actually be able to ride it. I can ride it knowing that it's not gonna be all minging and disgusting. So yeah, it's definitely in progress, but at least the pedals are done, and at least say the gear change parts are en route. So I'll be able to at least sort of ride up and down the garden. Yeah, all good. Nice one.